All right. Hey, everyone, and thank you for joining this week's weekly workshop. Today, we're going to go over postcard functionality. With the postcard functionality that we have inside of RDS Logic, you have a few different options on how you can use them. We'll go ahead and just jump right in. So if we scroll down on our admin dashboard and we go to the marketing button here in the bottom left, you'll see we have marketing automation, postcards, print material, and restaurants embedding and linking. Today, of course, we're going to be focusing on postcards. So let's see, we're going to be focusing on postcards, and we'll go ahead and just jump right into here. So the first thing you're going to want to do is click on Manage Postcards. And this is how you'll actually build your first one. So you see I actually have a few built already in this instance of the software. If you have not done any playing around with this yet, then you're not going to have any set up. So I'll show you how to set up your first postcard. You'll put a description, but it's just a description for what you're going to call this. So for example, happy birthday, never placed an order, first time order. Let's just call this one a large order, order over $300. And so we're just going to call it that. We're going to go ahead and, so a postcard consists of one side, it's a 4x6 postcard. One side of the postcard is an image. The other side is typed characters, 375 maximum. So you'll see here we have a few different options of pre-built stock images to use on the first side. Or alternatively, you can have a designer make a 4x6 image that you would like to use, and you can send that to us through a support ticket. We'll get that uploaded into the system, and you can use that for any of your postcards as well. I do recommend making your own, as ours currently are somewhat lacking. We do have plans to overhaul the whole selection that we have in here very soon as well. I'll give you an example. Here's big order thank you. So we can view this. Now it looks like you can't actually see it on my shared screen, so I'm going to open a new tab and bring this in here so you can see it. So here's the image that we had set up for what we call big orders. So, whoa, big orders make us smile, thank you. Most of the ones we have in here are cute and silly. So that being said, again, here's an example of one that we have. It is cute and silly. So you can send us a 4x6 image and we'll upload those for you as your image side of the postcard. For now, we'll go ahead and proceed with this as the example. So then I'm going to go ahead and type out what I'm going to say on the other side. We might say something like, thank you, first name. So this is just an example. I'll go ahead and hit create now. And what that does is that brings it over into this area here. So I can click on my first time order one. So it says, whoa, first name, thanks for placing an order with our service. We are pumped to have you as a customer and we hope to hear from you again soon. A happy birthday one, first name, last name, thanks for being such an awesome person. Happy birthday, we hope you enjoy your celebrations. Personally, I love the idea of sending out postcards for people's birthdays. I think it's awesome. And so after you've created a few, so again, as you can see, we have 4 here. This happy birthday one, we're using a default happy birthday that we have. I'll go ahead and just show this one to you. Again, bear with me, I have to open a new tab to throw this in. So here you have kind of a decent happy birthday image. Again, for those of you that just joined, these images that we have here are the default stock images. Now you can send us a 4x6 image that you have a designer design out, and we can upload those. You have to submit a support ticket with that image, that PDF, and we'll be able to upload that to the system so that you can use it for your postcards. So moving forward, after we've created a postcard, perhaps with a image that you've sent us or one of our stock images, you go ahead and I'm going to jump up back out actually to the admin dashboard. I'm going to click again on the marketing tab on the bottom left. So where we were was manage postcards. So we've managed the current postcards that are available to send to the customers. What we'll do next is go to send postcards. So in here, you have the ability to say, again, this is an example version of the software, so we actually have a lot of different markets plugged in. Obviously, some of our clients do service multiple markets, so you can select just one or all of your markets to send them to. For example, if you wanted to have like a different branding on a St. Louis one versus a Nashville one, you can get somewhat granular with it. So we'll say here the default rules, there's 10 rules. I do know with Google Hangouts that you're not actually able to see the drop-down box, so I'm going to go through them one by one as I click on them. Let me zoom in so that you can see this a little bit better. Rule 1 is customer has a birthday that's 5 days out, and then so it'll trigger a postcard to be sent. It generally takes about 5 to 6 days to send for these to be sent. So again, they're triggered. There's a trigger. So this rule is if they have the birthday field filled out in their account, the system says, okay, this guy's birthday is in 5 days. Let's trigger a postcard to be sent out. It should get there by his birthday. The next one is Rule 2, customers who have placed an order with a food subtotal over $75. Rule 3 is customers who created an account and enters an address but does not order food. Rule number 4 is customers who place their first order. Customers who place their second order is rule number 5. Rule number 6 is then who placed their third order. Number 7 is customers who have not ordered in 30 days. Rule number 8 is customers who haven't ordered in 60 days. Rule number 9 is customers who have not ordered in 90 days. And rule number 10 is customers who have not ordered in 60 days and their last order is $50 or more. So these are the basic upfront rules. What you would do, so for example, customers who place their first order, I could run a report saying anybody from October onwards that has placed their first order. So if a customer placed their first order, let's say on you'll see the date ranges here that I've selected are October 1st to today, November 9th. If a customer did place their second order through that time, they would not be in this following report. So no customers met that rule because this is an example version of the software and we're not really putting orders through it. We're just doing some basic testing in this particular system. Again, I don't think that we're going to see any real data in here, so let's just try larger. Okay, here we go. So I just said customers who have placed an order with a food subtotal over $75, and I ran a large date range just to see if I could get somebody to show up here. So then you can see this guy, the test user, at I mean this is a fake address in St. Petersburg, Florida. But if I wanted to send a postcard to him, I would simply select him here from this checkbox. So again, I just checkboxed right here. Generally, you'd have a very large list. I'm going to then hit select all. And then you can decide which postcard you're going to send them. I'm going to send this guy, just for an example, a large order over $300. And I'm going to send it to the selected address. Now, I'm not actually going to hit send here because I would be shooting a weird postcard to some person that would not be expecting it. Or it might just not shoot out because I think this might be a fake address. So it's really as easy as that, setting up a postcard, deciding which rule you want to trigger, and then selecting your list and sending it to them. We do use a third-party not designer, but a third party, really is a drop shipping company. It's called Lob. And what happens is then you submit this, it transfers through the API, and then it's going to hit their side, and they print them and they ship them. Again, it generally gets out to the consumers within about 5, sometimes 6 days. Currently, we only have a handful of clients who are using this on a regular basis. Many of them are seeing great return on it. Let me go ahead and just jump into one more kind of awesome way to send out postcards. So the first basic method, again, was going to the marketing suite. Going to the marketing tab here on your instance of RDS Logic down at the bottom left-hand side of the admin dashboard. And then managing your postcards, which is where you decided which image to use. You typed out your copy for the postcard itself, and then you titled it something. And then we went into send to postcards in order to actually decide which of those 10 rules that we wanted to send the postcards based off of. And then I'd be able to go to sent postcards and view a list of everyone I've sent a postcard to. You're not going to see any in here because, again, we're not doing any sending. Then what you can do, if you are using the marketing suite, you can get a little bit more detailed. So I'm going to go to marketing again. Instead of doing anything with postcards, I'm actually going to go here to automation maintenance. When I'm in automation maintenance, again, this might require just a brief lesson here. So by default, there's a few automations that come into the system, like little triggers, events. But what I'll do here is I'm going to actually jump in and do a custom event. So let's say, again, you can't see this drop-down box. So inside of marketing automation, there's a lot of different triggers. So customer places X orders, which you just fill in the blank here. So X equals 1 would mean it's their first order. You can do a few other awesome options. Let's say customer places X orders for a restaurant. So let's say they placed their 10th order for strange donuts. I'm going to call this strange 10 is the event ID. I'm going to add this as an automation event. And this is kind of a bizarre example, but then once I do that, I can use it to trigger something. So I'm going to say, okay, once somebody triggers this strange 10, so select an event is triggered when something happens on your website. So strange 10, we defined strange 10 as being when they place their 10th order from Strange Donuts. Then you can say, I want an action to occur. Generally with the marketing suite, folks are using email, they're using text messages. But what you can do as well is click send a postcard, and then you'll be invited to select which postcard you'd like to send. So I'm going to say just, it doesn't really matter here. I'm just going to choose one. But you'll see now there's those 4 different postcards that were present in our manage postcard area. We can select which one we would like. So in this manner, you're able to get around the 10 rule limit over on the manage postcards, send postcards area. You can actually really get super detailed and trigger based off anything. So I'm triggering based off the fact that they placed 10 orders from the same restaurant. And I would send them, maybe I'd create a different postcard saying, hey, you really love donuts. Strange Donuts is a donut shop. Say, hey, you love donuts so much, here's $5 on us for your next dozen. Just something unique and neat like that can go a long way sometimes with consumers. So I would just click create automation here. And what it's going to do is it's actually going to bring us into the marketing suite, into an automation that we've created. It's just going to call it a strange 10 automation. And it's saying anytime a contact triggers strange 10, that essentially they post the information back to a particular URL inside of RDS Logic that then adds them to the list, and it triggers the sending of that particular postcard. So once you're actually doing this, to take it another step further, you are able to basically just click on this plus button between the actual triggering of the event and then the posting of the postcard data. So I'll add something back in here. I can add conditions and workflows. I'll click if else, and you can say only if they also have been 28 days without an order happened once. So in this case, what would happen is if the customer has placed their 10th order from this restaurant and then they don't place an order for 28 days, then they're going to get that email or this postcard sent out to them, which is kind of neat. And it's just, again, kind of a bizarre example, but it's an example of how detailed you can get with the postcards. So just to recap, it's not super complicated. Again, the easiest method is just going straight into Marketing tab, Manage your postcards. This is where you build your postcards, description, image, and text. Create it, and then it creates it, puts it over into here. Once that's complete, you can easily go back into Marketing, Marketing, and Send Postcards. You can select rules 1 to 10, generate a report, and send out postcards. You'll monitor your sent postcards by going to Sent Postcards. And then if you want to get super detailed and do more of a one-off triggering of a like straight up automation, postcard automations, then you're going to be able to go into automation maintenance and set those up in there. So at this time, I'll go ahead and open it up for questions if you guys have any questions on this.
Hi, Matt. It's Alex in Milwaukee. I have a question in the manage postcard screen with those 10 rules. Are you able to add a different rule there if we request it?
So at this time, we do not have that ability. I think that we could probably get it done depending on what exactly the request is. It has been a long time since we've added any in there, but it wouldn't hurt just to send a support ticket in and see what it is and see if we can get it done. Now, the other thing I would mention is that if you are using the marketing suite right now, you can essentially work around that rule list and really get super detailed, creating your own unique rules and events that trigger one postcard at a time to be sent out. All right, well, hey, thank you all for joining this call. We do appreciate you guys coming to these weekly workshops. Definitely always want to make sure you're up to date with all of the features and functionalities that we have in the system. We look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Thanks so much.